Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 4 to test out another brand new vehicle. This week we have the Mazda Cosmo finally added to Forza Horizon 4. Obviously been in previous Forza games, but that's the new car we're going to be testing out this week. Last week we tested out the RX-3, so if you haven't seen that video, it went up same time last week. I don't think there's anything for us to test out next week, and I will be back again in spring to test out the Celine S1. Which is a 50% prize. But yeah, this week it's the Mazda Cosmo, which is available for one championship. Have gone in and got hold of it, so let's change straight into the car. So obviously classic Mazda, produced between 1967 and 1995, the Cosmo, but obviously this is a first gen, which was more specifically produced between 67 and 72. So it should be a 0.9 litre engine, so it's under a litre engine, 2-rotor, which is obviously one of the first cars to do that, 128 horsepower. There were two engines, 110 originally and 130, I think, supposedly on the updated engine, but both of them 2 rotors, both of them 0.9, 128 more exactly on here, which I don't know if is entirely right. I think it's got a 5-speed manual. But yeah, the one in here is a 72 car, so it's right at the end of production of the first generation. But yeah, one of the first cars to do rotary engines. Obviously we know Mazda likes to use rotary engines, and we've got not a bad sound. Let's just check this. Yeah, we've got the 5-speed. So yeah, really cool car, although it launched the same year as the Toyota 2000 GT, and as much as I love this for having a cool and different rotary engine, I think the Toyota looks better, so that's probably the one I'd have. But anyway, both very cool cars, both released in 1967. And apparently this was replaced with the RX-5, which is a bit odd because I'd have thought the RX-5 would replace the RX-4, which replaced the RX-3. But obviously quite closely related to the RX family of cars, being a rotary engine, so kind of makes sense. And as for Forza, this has obviously been in previous games. It's actually been in Forza Motorsport 6, Forza Motorsport 7, Forza Horizon 2, and Forza Horizon 3, so quite why it's taken so long to add it, I don't know. The RX-3 kind of made more sense because it hadn't been in Horizon games since Horizon 1. But was only really in Motorsport. But yeah, this I don't really know why we don't have it. Forza kind of need to stop pretending they're giving us new stuff when they're not, but it's here, we can test it out, we can enjoy it. It is quite a cool thing. Obviously not the fastest stock, and I think it probably does have the quad-rotor swap, but as we did that with the RX-3, I don't think we'll bother with it on this. So it is D-Class 363, and yeah, it's the Series 2 of the first generation, that's why it's the later one. But anyway, I think we should go to the festival and see what upgrades and probably rather limited customization is available. So here we are in the upgrade shop. Let's start down the far end with conversions. We've got an inline-4 motorbike engine, an inline-4 turbo rally, and a quad-rotor again. So I'm not going to do that because we did that in the previous car, so I'll probably just do quite a basic tune on the stock car, build it up to B class or A class, B class probably, leave it sort of rear wheel drive, standard engine, that sort of thing. You can obviously do your usual all-wheel drive swap, and single turbocharger is also available. What have we got in the way of... that's quite interesting actually. So we've got Forza Aero, or we've got bumper removal, but it kind of makes it look a bit like a goldfish, otherwise known as a modern Ferrari. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Forza Aero, we've got rear bumpers though, which is okay. We've got the bumper delete on the back as well, which looks rather odd because then there's a gap in your lights, so let's not do that. We've got street tyres, sport tyres, race tyres, Horizon race tyres, rally tyres, drag tyres, and vintage race tyres, so I think that's pretty much everything. Let's go with some nice wide race tyres. This is almost definitely going to end up being B class. Okay, we can bring the rear wheels out, but not the front wheels. Which is slightly odd, because the rear wheels actually have bodywork hanging over them. Okay, let's leave the rest of that alone. So yeah, I would normally come back and do a second tune after this to throw the mad engine in, but we did it with the RX-3. There's no point ruining this lovely car as well, because I'm going to end up putting it back to normal anyway. Race springs, sitting nice and low. It is actually very low. It's almost like drift suspension. I suppose that's where the front wheel can't come out, because it's actually sort of behind part of the bodywork, and it would scrape on it. Let's not do roll cage or weight reduction, I don't like doing those. Maybe we should just... Let's see where we're at if we do all of these engine bits. 708... Ooh, it's going to be top of A class in the end, isn't it, if we do that? $775. Is there anything else we can do to 798? Don't usually go for a roll cage, so let's not do that. Is there anything else I can do to get the last 2 PI out of it? Actually, I can probably turbo it. There we go. Nice round 800, and then we've probably got more options on here as well. Ooh, that adds 15 horsepower, but no PI. That's interesting. But that takes it a bit crazy. Okay, we've got a very quick A-class rear-wheel drive tune on here. Let's see what wonderful designs the lovely Forza community have come up with, and see if there's anything worth using, or if we should just go with a plain colour. Actually, I'll look at the plain colours first, because I want to see what the layer groups are like, if we have any at all, or what the manufacturer colours are like. Not quite as interesting as the RX-3 or the Porsche. These are sort of, I suppose it's that much older, the sort of 60s colours rather than the wild 70s colours. And there's no paint groups. Okay. Are there any good designs? I mean, Cosmo Hot Wheels, sure, there's that, there's a police car, there's a Red Bull. There's nothing all that inspiring, so let's just find something that isn't red. Isn't cream, probably the red. And I've used another paint group, another paint file space. I deleted some recently, it's fine, we've got some space. Anyway, let's head out and see what this is like. Rear-wheel drive A-class tune. Have to rev it underneath the festival exit. Actually, looks quite good in the red. Didn't think I'd necessarily like that. Let's go this way this time. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel that fast for an A-class car. It's not slow. I think it's probably not... I mean, it's a cool engine. I think it's probably not a very good engine for PI. Motorbike engines are probably more sensible, but this engine's cool. I'm not changing it. The only thing I'd change it for is a quad rotor, but like I said, we did that with the RX-3, which is fun, but I think we'll keep this one with the standard. I mean, it's not bad. Oh. It's drifting quite a lot. Maybe that's what it wants. Drift suspension and a quad rotor. Maybe I should try that. No, I said I'd keep the standard engine. I'll do that. I suppose at this point I should really race it against some unbeatable driver tiles, but... it's more of a test drive than anything else, but yeah, it doesn't feel that fast for A-Class. I mean, that could just be my bad tuning that I did very quickly, but generally things feel a little bit faster than this at the top of A, even things I've built. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily winning much online. I mean, due to the skill of a lot of the players online, you can win in almost anything reasonable, so yeah, it's not going to be... I very much doubt it's going to be a ridiculously OP car. I love how the wipers go into the middle like that. That's... I don't know why you'd want them to go like that and not the traditional way, but it's quite cool. There's a lot of gauges in here. Yeah, it's a cool machine, obviously. I do like the whole Mazda rotary thing. Something a bit different that they've gone with. It's a shame they don't really do that anymore after the RX-8, but anyway. This was obviously pretty much the start of it all. And obviously you've got your RX-3. I need to research this more. I don't know if there was ever an RX-1 and 2. Never heard of them if there are. Yeah, it is cool. Rotary Mazdas are always cool. This one being a twin rotor. The only complaint I have, as always with Forza, is why wasn't it here since launch? It's not like we didn't have a Mazda license. And it's been in, well, pretty much, apart from Forza Motorsport 5, I think it's been in every other Forza game of this generation. So it's in Horizon 2, Horizon 3, Motorsport 6 and Motorsport 7. So I don't quite know why it wasn't in here before. But anyway, it's here now. It's very cool. You only have to do one championship to get it, so if you haven't, why not? But yeah, do go and get this. It's not that easy, not that difficult to get hold of. It's one championship. But yeah, that really is going to do it for a first look at the Mazda Cosmo, actually, if we're not going to put the quad rotor in, which there's not a lot of point. We've kind of done that engine with the previous car. It's the problem with adding two very similar things. You've kind of already done everything you want to do with the first one. But anyway, like I say, really cool car. Doesn't take much to unlock, so do go and get it. But that is kind of it for my first look at the new Mazda Cosmo. And yeah, I probably will keep this tune on it. It's reasonable for driving about. Hello, Dodge Viper, not Viper, Challenger, Charger, same thing. Anyway, that is going to do it for a first look at the Mazda Cosmo. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.